Russia has completely failed to distract Ukrainians in the east. At the same time, they divide their already limited forces and send some of them to the south, where most certainly they will be crushed by Ukrainians. And the cherry on top will be the destruction of Crimean Bridge. And this is exactly how Russia will lose in this war. But more about all of this in a couple of minutes. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. And let's begin by looking at the most recent updates about the map of the war. And boy, today we have some good ones. First of all, in this video we can see potentially another military warehouse of Russians being destroyed in Nova Kakhovka. Earlier this night several explosions were also spotted next to Antonovsky Bridge. But as it turned out later, Ukrainians were once again focusing the railroad bridge next to Antonovsky Bridge. In response to that, Russians were shelling the civilian areas in Mykolaiv. And as you can see from this video, some residential buildings were damaged. And right here in this video we can see unfortunately once again Russians shelling civilian buildings in Zaporozhye region. And before we talk about this completely failed attempt of Russians to create the destruction in the east, here are some more videos from the same region. First of all, we have this ridiculous video presented to us by Russian propagandists about allegedly Ukrainians destroying the Donetsk hotel in the city center. As you can see from this video, suspiciously enough, exactly during the interview, in the background there was an explosion. If you've seen some other videos about this attack, you probably saw that footage where people were covering allegedly dead bodies with like these blankets. And even though this was obviously fake propaganda, I am not able to use this footage right here because then YouTube will put some restrictions on my channel. But if you still want to see it, feel free to join my Discord, the link will be down below. And speaking about the ridiculousness of Russian propaganda, here are a couple more words about the killings of prisoners of war in Alinivka last week. The chairman of Russian State Duma Vyacheslav Volodin said that he has undeniable proof that there was Zelensky and America behind this attack. And the reason for this is so that Ukraine can hide the evidence of using Nazistic soldiers. Vyacheslav Volodin also says that many Western countries, including America, will be prosecuting Ukraine in the future. And at the same time, I have a pretty logical question for him. If America in the future will be prosecuting Ukrainians for Nazis, why would America destroy then this evidence? And that's how in literally 2 sentences you break apart Russian propaganda. But wait, there is more. The embassy of Russia in the United Kingdom, they said that those remaining prisoners of war from Azovstal, they should be executed. And well, I guess with this level of diplomacy, it's no wonder that Russia cannot establish normal relations with the world. But anyways, right before I start talking about exactly how Russia is planning to lose in this war, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel if you like this style of daily updating. Alright, so if you remember from my previous video, at this very moment Russia is trying to create this illusion about attacking in the east. And at the same time they are relocating some of its forces to the south, which obviously with Russia having pretty limited resources at this very moment leaves east pretty unprotected. And right here, for example, we can see already the very first evidence of this failed strategy. Over the last couple of days, Russians tried to advance next to the Spisky village, but despite their concentrated effort, in just one day Ukraine was able to take some of its contested area back. And according to Alexei Arestovich, the advancements of Russians in this specific region has completely stalled. Next we go a little bit to the north, to the area east of Bakhmut. And as you can see, at this very moment this is literally the biggest priority for Russians based on the number of these red arrows. But despite all these efforts, we see literally no changes between August 3rd and August 4th, which once again confirms the fact that Russia is just creating this illusion of presence in the east. But as you can see, Ukrainians were pretty quick at discovering this bluff, that is why they are not relocating, and at the same time they're still being able to resist all these attacks. But what's even more ridiculous is that if we go a little bit to the north of Slavyansk. Alright, as you can see right here, this is the situation as of August 2nd. And if we move just one day later to August 3rd, this is how much land Ukrainian army was able to take back. But wait, once again, there is more. The very next day Ukrainian army was able to take even more land back and establish full control in the this blue area. This literally shows you how much weaker Russian army became after relocating some of its forces to the south, and I will be talking about this relocation very soon. To sum up the situation in the east, as you can see right here, Russians tried to advance next to this small city of Priship. But Ukrainians were able to resist this attack. That is why the next day Russians started attacking Husarivka. And ultimately, most likely due to this frustration, Russians just continued to shell Kharkov. And as you can see from this video, the city has been under severe attack, which is unfortunately bigger than usual. Alright, and now let's talk about the relocation of Russians to the south and their second mistake, which will make them lose this war. As you can see from this video, Russians have been bringing many military vehicles recently using this Crimean Bridge, which, if you think about this, is the direct confirmation that Russians are being more cautious. There are also several reports and videos is that Russians are trying to reconstruct Antonovsky Bridge. And so far, as you can see, there is no significant progress, and there is nothing that stops Ukraine from destroying it once again. Блять, ну ты сука. Very soon I'll be talking about the final pieces of evidence why I personally think that Russia is going to lose in this war, and spoiler alert, this is about the destruction of Crimean Bridge. But first of all, according to the intelligence data, the majority of Russian forces are now trying to concentrate in this North Kherson region. And most likely the directions of their attacks will be against the city of Mykolaiv, Novy Bukh and Kryvyi Rog. And by the way, here is a quick fact for you. President Zelensky is from Kryvyi Rog. But anyways, as you can see, right now Russia is only in the process of relocating to the south. And since they're being extra cautious and taking longer routes, this relocation will take a little bit longer than expected. And at the same time, those Ukrainians who are already in the south, they'll just reinforce their positions even more. Which most likely that this Russian army which was sent to the south is doomed to be completely destroyed. Alright, and now as promised, let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle, the potential destruction of Crimean Bridge by Ukrainians in the very nearest future. According to the Ukrainian military expert Kirill Mikhailov, destroying this bridge will not be as easy. But anyways, first of all, he is saying that just sending missiles to destroy this bridge will be most likely not enough, because Russians are protecting it like their own mother. Most likely a very sophisticated plan needs to be created, which includes having access to longer range missiles, creating diversion groups, and destroying Russian anti-air defense systems. Before this, Ukraine will need to send partisans and drones to do the intelligence of the area. And I mean that the real plan and its execution will most certainly be more complex. In response to that, the representative of Russian government in Crimean Peninsula, Mikhail Sheremet, he said that in case the bridge is destroyed, there will be severe consequences for Ukraine. And I mean, come on dude, most likely by the time this bridge is destroyed, Russia will have almost none of the military equipment and vehicles to have this retribution. And before we talk everyone's favorite ridiculous Russian propaganda, here is a quick and very important summary. So okay, pay attention here. First of all, Russia decided to create a distraction in the east, which as you can already see, they completely failed. And at the same time, they were hoping that Ukrainians will relocate from the south to the east. As soon as it was supposed to happen, this is when Russia was supposed to attack in the south. And because of this, they already started relocating some of its forces from the east to the south, which as you can see left the east even less defended. And in the meantime, Ukrainians already understand this and they're reinforcing their existing positions. Which basically means that as soon as Russians decide to for some reason attack in the south, most likely these attacks will be completely shattered. As a result, what we have is that Ukraine is already taking back lands in the east, and as soon as they'll be able to resist these attacks in the south, they will start counteroffensive in this region as well. Along this counteroffensive, they'll be targeting to destroy as many military objects of Russians as possible. And the cherry on top of all this situation is that as soon there will be perfect conditions for Ukrainians to attack, they will finalize this war by destroying the symbol of Russia, the Crimean Bridge. Welcome to another episode of Ridiculous Russian Propaganda. And today we have these Western articles about the benefits of cannibalism. And yes, you heard me right, these are the Western articles. But it was the Russian propaganda which was promoting these articles and basically saying something as following. Look at these Westerners and Americans who could not defeat Russia, not economically, not politically, not military, nothing. Russia resisted everything. And while they thought that they will bring Russia to its knees, in fact, it will be them who will start eating each other just to survive. And I mean, yes, you already get the idea. The whole narrative is basically that Russia is the center of the universe, and as soon as other countries stop doing business with Russia, they will die. Because it is Russia and Russia alone which produces everything in the world. Food, water, oil, electricity, wind, women, men, children, everything but obviously Ukrainian Nazis. And that is why exactly we need to denazify them. Sorry about being too cringe in this episode, but if you stayed all the way until this moment, you're a true hero. And if you want to support my work, please consider becoming my channel member. And also, we as a community constantly donate money to Ukraine. And if you want to be a part of this group donation, please consider checking my Patreon. All the links can be found down below. Thank you so much for your attention, stay safe and see you tomorrow.